so thrilled to be invited here to the State of Berkeley's market. It's very exciting to talk about this because this is a really exciting time. For those of you that don't know me, I've been mayor of the city for about 1.5 years now, and actually my very first professional job was in commercial real estate. I don't know if folks knew that. You knew that?
No.
Some of you? Okay. Yeah, okay, 2 of you knew for sure. And this is really helpful, I think, to have the background to really understand what's going on in our city. The other thing that you all should know about me is that when I came here, I went to UC Berkeley and I studied business at the Haas School of Business. And guess who was the dean of the Haas School of Business at the time? Our current chancellor, Rich Lyons. And so that has been incredibly helpful. He will tell you, he'll be the first to tell you, that the relationship between the city and the university is the best that it has ever been. And that's incredibly valuable because we are a city that's really built around our university, and it's so important that we work together. When I've traveled around the world, I have talked to people, literally cab drivers, who can tell me about the city of Berkeley because they know exactly where it is. They know our history, they know our culture, and one thing that they may not know is about how close our relationship is with the university and how that really benefits us as a city. How many of you knew that UC Berkeley has the most startups of any university in the entire world?
Oh my God. Whoa.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that again. We have the most startups of any university of the entire world. That's incredibly exciting. Thank you. And extra special news, we actually also have the most female startups founders. Yeah, so the ladies out there. This is incredibly rare. I think a lot of folks think, okay, Stanford, Silicon Valley, that's where things are happening. And actually, there's so much going on here in Berkeley, and specifically at UC Berkeley. And the partnership that we have been building over this past 1.5 years is really starting to show bear fruit. So we're really an innovation destination. It's so important to us. We have these startups, but what's really important is we want to have places for them to grow into. So of course, UC Berkeley has done an amazing job of creating incubators. They've helped to start up these different startups. And we want to make sure we keep them here in the city of Berkeley. So, we know that there are so many spaces that are really beautiful and perfect. They are LEED certified, they have access to public transportation, and there are a lot of reasons why these startups want to stay here. But what's important is that they actually have the spaces to stay here as well. Chancellor and I have been talking a lot about the downtown Berkeley area being an innovation zone, a place where we can encourage these startups to stay, to grow, to also to foster relationships with our local business owners. All of that really helps our downtown, which we know has been, coming up since the pandemic, the struggles during the pandemic time. And some other reasons why people want to be here in Berkeley, I just want to highlight for you, is of course our labor market. We have UC Berkeley here, which is of course the #1 public university in the world. I know we've shared that spot with UCLA a couple times, but we know who the real top is. All of these students, they are going to be looking for jobs when they graduate. So having a labor market there, building those connections, having the ability to have internships where the students can literally go right down the street to work somewhere, that's a lot of value. We also have really amazing other things about the city of Berkeley that folks want. When I talk to startup founders, they're also looking for sort of the vibe of the city, right? They want to make sure that there are restaurants that their employees can go to, that there are little shops that they can visit when they're on their breaks, that they have access to gyms, that they, have great transportation, and also really important that the work that the city of Berkeley is doing right now is making sure that we have safe pedestrian and bicycle streets so that people can get to where they're going safely. I want to also just highlight, we've got some amazing city departments. I see our city manager, Paul Budenhagen, in the back. And I see folks from our planning department, Jordan Klein, who you're going to hear from later. Our Office of Economic Development is here. I think that also highlights another really important piece about the city of Berkeley, which is that our city staff are working so hard to be supportive of the work that you all are doing. And I think that that's really exciting. I think the commitment of them being here this morning really shows that they want to show up and that they want to be supportive. And for those of you that don't know, the Office of Economic Development is non-regulatory. So if you're confused about how something works, you can also just go to them to ask them how to navigate our systems. And very exciting, something that the Office of Economic Development does is our Berkeley Startup Cluster. Do we have any Berkeley Startup Cluster members here? A few of you. Okay, very good. Thank you. So our Berkeley Startup Cluster is a relationship that we formed with UC Berkeley, Lawrence Berkeley National Labs, the Downtown Berkeley Business Association, many of our different businesses that are in the city, and they meet together to talk about ways that the city of Berkeley can better serve our businesses here. And one of the things that's tangibly come out of this is that we actually changed policy so that when different companies are getting grants from the government or philanthropy, that they don't have to pay taxes on that, which makes a really big difference. If you are doing research and you have to pay a lot of that money that you received in taxes, that can really hurt your ability to do the research that you need. So that's a tangible change that came out of the Berkeley Startup Cluster. I really want to encourage you all to get involved if this is something that you're interested in doing. So, and the other thing I wanted to tell you about, but then I'm gonna wrap it up for the morning so you can get straight into the panel, is that, my office in particular is very focused on supporting our local businesses here. This is Andrea Bernal, she's my Community and Business Relations Coordinator. Not only do we meet with our developers and our startup community, but also we go visit our local businesses. We actually go door to door and have met with hundreds of businesses, just talking to them, asking them what it is that they need to be supported in the city. And this is really just the start of more work to come and continuing to support our business community. But I just want to highlight the fact that this is something that we really care about. We actually also hosted an event at the Berkeley Commons in order to showcase the beautiful space. We had an amazing panel that had Skydeck and Ambi Robotics. We were really very thrilled to be able to show folks the space, and we really want folks to go and visit it and hopefully fill it as well. So looking ahead, I just want to say, we're really excited to have you all here this morning. Thank you so much for the work that you're doing in partnership with the city. We know we're looking for more spaces for all these startups to grow into, these Class A office spaces, medium-sized spaces for the startups to grow into. And I want to just thank you all for your continued partnership, and thanks so much the City of Berkeley staff who are here and doing the really hard work to make our city continue to be a fruitful place for businesses. So thank you all so much. Thank you so much.
Hi, Mayor. I know you spoke about the collaboration between between Cal, and if you could just give us some examples.
We have something called the LRDP, which is the Long Range Development Plan. We've had really a lot of exciting projects that have come out of that funding. It's a source of funding that the university actually gives to the City of Berkeley that we get to use on projects that are within a certain area around the campus. And so, for instance, we have the Southside Complete Streets project. If you go on to Bancroft Avenue, you will see that there's a lot more bike, pedestrian, and bus infrastructure that's there. That allows us to make serious infrastructure investments in our city to keep people safe. I know that I have taken those bike lanes up and down Bancroft, and they're a complete lifesaver. Otherwise, what happens is, we have these one-way streets, so you have to kind of go around, and it can take longer, especially for those students trying to get to class. And then another project is we actually helped to fund the Sacred Rest Drop-In Center, so serving our unhoused community in the area around campus. That's been incredibly valuable. And the Chancellor has also come to speak at many different events. We actually just spoke together at the Downtown Berkeley Business District annual meeting, and that was incredibly exciting for us to be able to talk about the partnership, the work that we're doing together. So those are just a few examples.
Hi, Mayor. Thank you for coming. I'm wondering, just all of the industrial spaces that are in Berkeley towards the coast, towards the bay, if there's going to be an emphasis. I love startups, but I happen to come from the energy sector, and if there's going to be more focus on maintaining spaces for more of the mechanical engineering and energy specs and keeping that industrial base here in Berkeley, or is it going to switch and become more of the behemoth medical and software development teams?
Thank you so much. I'm really glad you asked that question, and I apologize if I made it seem like we're just focused on startups. Actually, of course, we know that it's important to have a diversity of different businesses. We don't want to be putting all of our eggs in one basket, so to speak. And actually, Ambi Robotics, who was speaking at the Berkeley Commons that I mentioned earlier, I think they're a perfect example of that. They have been, doing their manufacturing in West Berkeley and have been continuing to grow. We also have, lots of different manufacturing companies. We had, I'm totally spacing this on the name of the week that, is it the week? Thank you, Manufacturing Week, which we've actually celebrated through the Office of Economic Development. And we have even things like Cho Chocolate. I don't know if folks have seen, but the Gilman Wine Block has completely blown up. So many different folks actually making things in their spaces, not just office spaces. So wanted to let folks know about that. Definitely, if you haven't just even taken a drive through West Berkeley recently, take a look and see what's going on there, because there's a lot going on, and that's been really exciting for us. So.
A big round of applause for our Mayor, Mayor Ishii.